fellow Sagittarius collective, this is quite possibly your reading. And if the camera shakes, it's because I'm just making too much movement on the table. Okay, sorry. A little obnoxious. A little obnoxious. My voice is a little cracky because I just woke up not that long ago, and I am not a morning person. So, getting used to that at this time. Anywho, this is a collective reading. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. This could be for your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and or Mercury sign. And cross watchers, just know the roles may be reversed. And when I say cross watchers, I mean you're watching on behalf of someone who is a Sagittarius, sun, moon, rising, and or Venus, and or Mercury. Just know roles can be reversed. But also just, you know, take what resonates and leave the rest. La-di-da-di-da. La-da-da-da-da. It's the motherfucking... for whatever reason that's coming out. So we're just here today to see what you need to know right now. What you need to know right now. Oh, and I'm lexrayangelica. Nice to meet you if you don't know me already. I know I haven't posted on YouTube in a hot second. And I got this groovy bleach blonde hair now, so alright. We're using we're using the Rider-Waite Tarot, or a version of it. For Sagittarius. What Sagittarius Collective needs to know, angels, please. For Sagittarius, please. I got 2 cards out on the table, but they want me to run through 2 more times. There goes one on the floor. 2 on the floor. Alright. Okay. Oh. Alrighty. One more to go. Hello. Thank you all for being here, by the way. I know things have been feeling a little... Woo! That's the only onomatopoeia that comes to mind for me right now. Oh my good golly. Take these or... Keep these or put these back, because this is a lot right here. Keep these or put this back. Okay. They want all of them. They want all of them. Okay. Alright. Bottom of the deck, angels, yes or no? High Priestess in reverse, overall energy. Okay, so something's peeking through. I gotta see it. If y'all know me, you know that I can't resist the little peekies. Alright, so 6 of Wands with the High Priestess in reverse as the overall energy here on the bottom. Oh my gosh, here they go peeking again. I'm never mad, angels. Thank you so much for your help, but I believe... Okay, 8 of Wands as well. I was going to say, I believe what I saw was the last card on the back, and that's what it was. So, and sometimes it's just like, oh, this one's peeking, this one's peeking. It's like 7 different things peeking through. You know, but Sagittarius energy, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of nuances to things. You know, we don't just... fellow Sagittarius here, Sagittarius sun. You know, we it's always more than that, you know what I mean? Like, it's never just like, it's very uncommon for us to just see something very so simply. Like, there's always something a little more going on, you know what I mean? There's gotta be more. It's gotta be more. This came out like completely sideways, angels. This direction, yes or no? Okay. This direction, yes or no? Okay. Alright, so what the heck do we got here? High Priestess in reverse, 6 of Wands and 8 of Wands as the overall energy. This is what you've been waiting to see, like what you've been waiting to like innately see, innately know, innately feel as far as your intuition goes, because you may have been feeling blocked in like some way that like isn't comfortable for you, because normally you just not only do you flow, like you roll with the punches, so to speak. It's not that you haven't had an issue rolling with the punches, it's just typically life throws a bunch of rolling boulders your way, and you dodge and you dip and you duck, dive, a lot of interesting things coming out, like different songs and movie things coming out for you right now. But anywho, I feel like having that dodgeball movie quote that I butchered, by the way, come out, I feel like that's another asterisk here needed before I finish what they were saying to me, but about having fun. You know what I mean? Just making fun of, not making fun of in like a mean way, but like making light, making fun somehow, some way out of whatever you're going through and out of the obstacles that you feel are being thrown your way, which again is one of your strong suits, Sagittarius. So I feel like you're just being reminded that, you know, you're allowed to do that right now as well, even though it's so overwhelming is what I'm hearing. You're still allowed to, you know, crack jokes about it, because I feel like that's part of your survival as well. It's like it kind of fuels you in a way to like be able to like pivot a lot better and dodge these obstacles. Not dodge them in like a ignore them way, but like, you know, face them without getting hurt. You know what I mean? Face them without getting damaged, and making light of the situations along the way. You're still allowed to do that. If you needed that reminder, Sagittarius, that's what the angels are saying. You're still allowed to make light of things. Okay, so lighten up, my friends. Okay, so High Priestess in reverse, Six of Wands, Eight of Wands. Whatever it is that you feel like has got your, you know, let me finish the thought they were sharing with me. Please excuse me on this. I'm being very much everywhere lately. Goodness, what were they saying? So lots of boulders being thrown your way. My camera just like went bloop. Did you see that? Anywho, hi angels. What was the thought, angels? Oh goodness. Anyway, whatever it is that you feel like, oh yeah, that's what it was. Thank you so much. So, you know, normally, you know, you duck, you dodge, you whatever, like you face all these obstacles, right, as they show up, because you're good with that. You're good under pressure. You're good on your feet. You're good, you know, with unexpected stuff. You're just like, all right, I can handle it. I know how. I'm gonna figure it out, because it always gets figured out. You know, that's you. But usually, after doing that so much, eventually this like aha moment shows up, or this really awesome blessing shows up, like in reward of it, or this really nice break of like things just being nice and flow and easy as far as pathwise, where it doesn't feel, where there aren't a whole bunch of boulders coming your way of obstacles, symbolism, if you're following me, okay? And lately you've been feeling like, where is that? Where is that? Because you're like, is it me? You're at the point where you're like, is it me? Woo! Okay, I am resonating. So you're at the point where you're like, is it me? Because I've been like dodging this, I've been battling this, I've been, you know, going through this unscathed the best I can. I've been juggling this. With that Six of Wands though, and that Eight of Wands, it's like everything is coming in so quickly. You know, that's confirmed with the Eight of Wands here. And unexpectedly. And you feel like you've been doing the right thing. You know, you feel like things aren't like being shown. Like you feel like though there's obstacles and things that are overwhelming you, you don't feel like there's actual firm signs and synchronicities and whatnot that are pointing at you saying like you're being like punished or blah 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 because you're not doing things in alignment. But you're questioning, am I in my alignment? Like my intuition, like because your intuition is so strong and because these obstacles seem to have like no like no sign of stopping, at least from what you can see right now, you're like, am I getting all of these boulders thrown at me because I'm out of alignment? Is it me? But I feel like I'm in alignment because I feel like the things I do, I still do well. I feel like everyone's still treating me well in the most part when it comes to those who matter and resonate with me. I feel like I'm being validated by people. And I feel like I'm seeing signs and synchronicities from the divine, from God, from my guides that are telling me like I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the thing. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing the thing. I'm doing my thing. So on and so forth. So with that Six of Wands, right? So you're like, is it me? Why do I feel funky? I feel funked up is the phrase I'm hearing. I feel funked up. Why do I feel funky? And also, where's the little treat? You know, like, where's the little treat after all of this test of my strength, test of my faith, test of my courage? Because it's just like non-stop. It just feels non-stop. This is rolling, not a stopwatch. Shit don't ever stop. That's what I feel like, okay? There's a lot here because it's, oh my. If you don't know, Mercury is in retrograde in Aries at this time. It makes me at a loss for words a lot. And if you're feeling all funked up, we don't have to always blame everything on Mercury. But it is in Aries, so especially if you have any strong Aries placements in your chart, could be funking with you. Okay? Hermit in reverse. The Death card. 3 major arcana right in a row. The Chariot. You know, it's like you want something to be freaking over with. Like, this is just confirming in a way what they were saying. It's like you don't want yeah, thank you, angels. Yeah. So once again, God, my voice is so deep right now in the morning. Once again, I've got some strong Sagittarius placements in my chart personally, and I am resonating a bit so far in certain ways. This one just went bing. So you don't want to look any further within right now because you just want this to be over with so you can move on. Whether that's a feeling or a particular struggle, it's like you are so aware that not everything is your fault. Your insecurity right now is questioning. That's the questioning of things being you. Like, you're the problem right now because maybe you're not aligned enough. Maybe you need to meditate more. Maybe you made a wrong choice. Maybe you da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Maybe this is your karma. Maybe this, maybe that. And maybe in some ways, some yeses to those maybe. I don't know. That's very per individual. But general-wise here, you're like, how much inner work do I need to do so that things do, finally, like, end with all of this, like, weird, overwhelming, uncomfortable energy, like, so that things really do just kind of, because you're not afraid of change right now. You kind of desperately want change because you feel like something's been so stinking stagnant that it's bound to change. Like, you've been anticipating this change. And you want it at this point so you can just move on. It's like it's suffering. It's like being in physical pain and, like, before, like, symbolically, like, before, say, you'd been in physical pain, in your head you might think to yourself, like, oh man, surgery's so scary, or, like, going to the doctor is so scary, or, like, stuff like that, whatever. Medicine's so scary, stuff like this. But it's like, once you're in so much pain, you're, like, at the doctor, to the doctor, or whatever, just being like, just do it. Whatever it is you gotta do, I don't want to feel like this anymore. So whatever you gotta do, just do it and get it over with, please, because I need this to stop. I need this to change. I need this to go towards the light, and I need to move forward because I am done feeling the way that it's feeling. I'm sorry that it's like, there we go. That's what it feels like. It feels both emotional and mental from what I'm picking up on. I don't see a particular situation at this time, but it just feels like general, like your experience of life at this time. It just feels like you know God well, you know the divine well. You're like, and you know yourself well, and you're just like, I am really trying. I know you know I'm trying. But where's the push through? Like, it's not even being in the eye of the hurricane. Like, it just feels like just in the thick of it. In the thick of it all. And like, it's like a hurricane with no eye. Oof. Thank you, angels, but jeez. It's like a hurricane that has no eye. There's no break in between. And you keep wondering, like, where's the break? You're like, I understand, like, I just be taking these punches and, like, doing my best with it. And, like, that's just how I've been always in my life. And I'm capable of that. I got that. But usually there's, like, a breather somewhere. You know, there's, like, an eye in the middle of the hurricanes that I normally face. And then I get to, okay, and then prepare for the next, for the rest of it to come through, you know? But, like, this hurricane has no eye. It is just a freaking thick pancake of a storm. Like, it's just like, and you are the map that it's on. It's just like, pop. So, like, how do we flip this pancake off? How do we, you know? And I'm, like, hearing now, like, maybe we devour it. Just symbolically, like, maybe it's something to take, maybe it's not something to wait for it to, oh, thank you, angels. Maybe it's not something to wait to pass, like to wait for it to pass through. Maybe it's something we have to, like, this sounds wild to say it this way, but like eat our way out of, if you're following with the pancake symbolism, you know, like what we're missing, quote unquote. The guides love this right now. They love this symbolism right now. They're just like, they love this symbolism right now. This is one of the most wild symbolisms I've ever come to be shown and to share with the collective. Very, very interesting. It's a pancake of a storm plopped on you. You're the location of the storm. The storm has plopped on you. Pancake of a storm. You're waiting for God to come in with a spatula and just flip it off of you, which maybe is a potential, we'll see. But there's something here about, instead of waiting for a breather, because this isn't a donut, it's a pancake. There's no hole in the middle. There's no way to breathe, take a break and whatnot. Also, it's a pancake. It's not moving. It's not a pancake on wheels. And pancakes can be, like, really sticky in a way, you know, even without syrup, you know what I mean? Like, if you plop a pancake on a plate, sometimes you can even, like, if it's hot enough, you can, like, tip the plate over for, like, a quick second, and that pancake won't always, like, fall all the way off. Like, I mean, maybe most of the time, whatever, but, like, just for symbolism's sake, like, not only is it plopped on you, but it's not like the wind could just blow it. Like, this pancake is not only thick and heavy, but it's, like, unshakable is what it feels like, and that's what's so overwhelming about it. There's so much pressure and weight, and now I'm getting, like, a lot of stress in my, like, in a T shape on my back, like, my shoulders and my, like, upper to middle back, and I just need to stretch, and I just got a couple little cracks happen. But yeah, with that weird phrase, like, eating your way out of it, excuse me, okay, unless, anyway, stop it. So, maybe what's missing is not that it's not like when you haven't, like, part of you is like, when I learn what I'm meant to learn, is God gonna come in with the spatula and flip this pancake off of me, and then finally I don't have to deal with this pancake anymore, and I can move on with my life? There's something here about, yeah, maybe But you don't have to, especially with this Chariot card, and especially with this Death card here, and especially with the Hermit in reverse as well. It's like you don't have to stay in hermit mode. You can change this. You know, you can change this. You can make this move forward. But you keep questioning your own, like, intuition about how to go about doing that. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. But with the Six of Wands, that shows success. So you will successfully get your way out of this. And I feel like you're not meant to be super, super patient about it right now. Like, there's patience needed for some things, right? But when it comes to the sensation of the overwhelm, you're not meant to just sit and wait until you're not overwhelmed anymore. There is some action to be taken with this Eight of Wands here that you can do. What it is that, you know, where the disconnect is that you're not seeing what that action is. And so how they're showing it to me symbolically is eat your way through the pancake like a cute little mouse, and then you're not suffocated by it, you're on top of it, and you digested something along the way that might have been kind of delicious in a sense, because pancakes are pretty good. Unless you hate pancakes, then I'm sorry about the symbolism, but you know. So chewing our way through this pancake that's suffocating us. What a strange symbolism for the Sagittarius collective today. But hey, you know, I hear them. Okay, so we continue with the Page of Swords in reverse and the Eight of Cups. Oh. Two things. I feel like this is just confirming what was said with the symbolism that, you know, you keep thinking like there's something that's going to come to my mind. There's got to be something that's going to come to my mind that'll help move this forward. You know, there's some kind of aha moment, some type of intellectual, like, eclipse, right? With all this eclipse energy that we have just experienced and are still kind of lingering in. There's going to be some kind of, like, mental eclipse happen in my brain where it's just like, oh, I see it, I get it now. And then that's what's going to help me propel and move this, get this train back on the tracks, get back on the road. Okay? I'm also seeing that this is, I don't know, it's like a truth, like a frustration that has to do with, you know, it's like you're either wandering around your mind, or you're wandering around physically, or both, wandering around the internet, wandering around in the fifth dimension, like in the dream realm, some sort of wandering here where you're like, where is the truth I'm supposed to be seeing? And you're starting to get grumpy because you're just like, I'm not seeing the enlightened moment that I usually see when I've been faced with so many obstacles like this. Like, normally something comes out of it and it's just like, got it, glad I learned it, and I can, like, take that deep breath finally, and then you move forward. But you're just like wandering around looking for it, like, where in the stink is it? And look how the moon is kind of looking, you know, especially with the solar and the moon, the lunar and the solar eclipses that we just experienced. It's like ever since then they've been kind of, those energies have kind of just been like, you know, when it comes to, like, in sort of, in a couple ways, because it's mirroring your energy in a way, because you're like, what am I getting out of this? Like, what am I getting out of this life experience right now? Because it's just like, bum, 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 and where's the resolve? It's like when a song ends on that certain note, and you know it could end on a different note because it would bring more resolve, but instead it's just like, oh, my neck just cracked. My neck, like, never cracks. Wow. Anyway. I'm also seeing this as tiredness, though. Like, I'm seeing this as, like, the solar and lunar eclipses energies looking upon you, God looking upon you. Not that God judges, right? I mean, God judges, I guess, in a sense, when it comes to karma and things like that. Whatever, that's to each their own. But it's like this tiredness energy ever since the lunar and solar eclipses, where those energies, like if you could think of the moon and the sun like as, you know, these energies that watch upon you, they've been kind of like getting tired for you, watching you run yourself around in a rat race trying to find this wisdom. Where's this wisdom at? Because I feel suffocated and I'm not going to feel better until I gain this wisdom. So where the freak is it at? And it's starting to make you frustrated. It's starting to make you a little sassy. It's starting to make you, you know, say things you regret a little bit, maybe even think things that you regret a little bit in hindsight, because you're just like, you're just frustrated, so you don't know what else, you know, that's just the way you're going about it right now. Trying to intellectualize your way through this because you feel called to slow down with actions. You're more of a being of action as a fire sign, and it's been challenging because you're like, you know, you're a very intuitive fire sign. You're very wise fire sign. You're always open to learning. You're always open to exploring, whether that's within or in your environment, or even intellectually as well. But there's something you feel like you're not finding, and you're just like pleading with God at this point. Like, a lot of the times I see this, you know, image here as like someone who, you know, is like, please don't take them away, you know, whatever. But for right now, for this reading, I'm seeing this as like Sagittarius energies being like, would you just, you know, take me too? You know what I mean? Like, take me, change me, transform me, because I'm done with this. I'm done with it. I want to go towards the light. Okay. Yikes, man. So, with the King of Pentacles, we got the Four of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so we got the King and the Queen of Pentacles both out here, with the Queen of Wands in reverse. If you're resonating with this as a situation between you and another person, there may be, you know, there may be a lack of passion happening right now between you and your significant other, or someone that you love and hold very dearly, because of financial things. And by financial things, I mean you wanting to really just, you're very hyper focused on where your finances are at. It also could be just your energy value, and your energetic wealth. It could be your health as well. But I'm getting more so like, it's either, you know, with the King and the Queen here, you know, first of all, confirmation that you're with your match. So congratulations if you're resonating with that. Whether y'all, no matter the dynamic of the connection, you're with your match, and you'll know who you're who the angels are referring to as I say this. So thank you, angels. But there's something here about like, you're hyper fixated on either together as a group you are, or just separately right now you are, hyper fixated on keeping close keeping close control on your finances, it could be, but also your energetic wealth. And I feel like that's what's kind of making this feel like there's like a depleted passion here, or maybe more arguments here, because the stress of this. It's like this is essential at this time in a sense, because of, you know, Mercury retrograde energies, you know, are typically an advisory to, like, there's typically an advisory to not go overspending, to not go do anything big and crazy and whatnot, you know, because you gotta be aware that you may be more susceptible to making choices that are out of alignment, or to you know, the mistakes of others in regards to free will, you know, because everyone else is going through experiencing the retrograde energies in their own ways as well. But anyway, it's just like this hyperfixation on like, you know, no, we want to go do this, but we can't do this right now because we gotta hold on to our money for a little bit at this time. Or no, we could go and do this and have a good time and whatever, but like really I just don't have the energy, so we're just not. And then I don't feel like y'all are actively yelling at each other or anything like that, but it is some sort of anger of in like, I mean, Queen of Wands is she's a lady of action here, but I feel like it's like stuff you're keeping to yourself, and it may be creating animosity towards your partner at this time because of that stress, where you're just like, gosh, and you start noticing things too much is what I'm hearing. Like, gosh, and they never do this and they never do that, and if they do this, like, why do they do this all the time, and what does it mean when they do this, and da 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 da. So some issues in your relationships as well have been being affected by your own frustration and your own strong attempt to feel safe and secure at this time, because otherwise you just simply do not. You feel like when is Ashton Kutcher gonna come out and tell me I'm just being punked, like, because I'm really tired of these very odd situations that are very overwhelming, just making it difficult to freaking breathe. Eight of Pentacles. Gosh, it's this lighting, I'm so sorry. Eight of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Ten of Pentacles in reverse. You don't know what, again, this came out in a different reading. You don't know what to work on. You're working, but you don't really know what to work on that's actually for the greatest, highest purpose of your life and livelihood. Especially if you're in a marriage or some sort of union with someone here, or wanting to be in a union with someone here. This could also just be your divine and your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies within yourself, and you're just, you know, kind of keeping those safe the best that you can, working on those the best that you can. But it is frustrating nonetheless. Like, you really are kind of getting sick of, like, wondering if you're balanced or not balanced. But I can say, like, with the King and the Queen both out here, like, you're doing the work. Like, you know, your divine feminine and divine masculine energy are balanced pretty freaking well. Okay, so if you're resonating with that, then that's, if you needed to hear that, then, you know, you're doing good. So don't get too hard on yourself. Okay, you're doing just fine. But there's also this energy here of, like, you know, I want to work. I'm here to work. I'm showing up to work, but, like, I don't know what to, like, what's actually gonna stay, what's actually gonna go, so I don't know what to work on. And I think that's part of the aha moment that you're hoping that God shows you. You're hoping that God shows you what's, I've been hearing this a lot for the collective, built to last, Duralast, because there's that brand, Duralast, of, I think it's tools, whatever. Yeah, there's this, like, I've been picking up a lot on, like, you don't know what's built to last, so you don't know what to keep working on, because you don't want to put work into something that's not going to last. But, and I have another little stack of cards here that, you know, came out that I haven't seen. They're face down at this time. But what I'm picking up already, as far as advice goes, just what they're telling me is, like, what you work on is what will last. You want to know how to make your choice? Whether it is career-based, this is relationship-based, this is something to do with your health, something to do with just you as a person, whatever. And you're wondering, like, well, what do I work on right now? Like, what needs work? Because what's actually going to work out, what's actually going to, you know, stick around and be for the greatest good of my future, of my legacy, of my life. Whatever you work on is what will last. Has a better chance of lasting, you know? So it comes down to literally your choice. And then this is where the Sagittariuses start going, no, 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 no. Don't do it. You love making your own choices, but when you're feeling caught in the middle, hearing the Paramore song Caught in the Middle right now, when you're feeling caught in the middle, you want God to show you. You want something outwardly, or something like aha momently, to show you point blank in your face that this is what you're meant to do, because you do change a lot, right? With the death card out here as well. That's part of who you are. That's why you're so okay with the looming change that seems to be around and about you somehow, some way, like it's coming, right? You do change a lot. And that's part of how you become so wise and so gifted in your abilities to teach and share and speak and, navigate life with a lot of experience, no matter like your age, no matter like where you've been or where you've not been. Like you just have like this innate wisdom that other people really admire, and it's useful to others as well. You literally, but at the same time, if you have these decisions, again, it's like that FOMO stuff, right? Fear of missing out. You're just like, oh, please don't tell me that please don't tell me that I have to make the choice, because I'm literally asking, how do I make the choice? Your question is, what do I work on? Because I've been working, but I don't know what's staying. I don't know what I'm supposed to be focused on for my long-term highest good. And God is saying, the angels are saying, whatever you work on is what's going to stay. Whatever you work on is what's going to be, long-lasting. The more you work on it, that's how it continues to last. The fear there is, like, once again, but how do I know I'm picking the right thing for me? You know what I mean? Because it goes a couple different ways. There's something else peeking through now that I kind of moved the bottom of the deck a little bit to grab that High Priestess card, and it's the Temperance. I'm not going to pick up the whole deck because then there'll be a whole bunch of random things flying through. Which, thank you, angels, so much, but I have a whole stack in my hand right now. Temperance, that's your energy, that's your card there. It's trusting yourself. I think what's happening with you, with all the astrological aspects happening currently, is that you're forgetting, you're having this like fear blockage of trusting yourself. Anytime you've ever made a choice, Sagittarius, you've always trusted yourself and not listened to anyone else, and it's always taught you something. And that's what's the gift and the preciousness of you and your energy, is that people may have been like, you sure you want to do that? Like, that isn't, I don't know, da, 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 or it's too soon, or you're not, da, 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 or you won't have this, or you should be scared of this, da, da, da. Anything that you've done that's taught you the most in your life has been a risk, quote unquote, that you've taken because you trusted yourself in knowing that that is what you wanted to do. That is where you wanted to go. That's the job you wanted to try. That's the business you wanted to start. That's the person you wanted to see, how you guys would connect. That was the place you wanted to move to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But at this time, you're not trusting yourself. You're questioning a lot more about trusting yourself. And that's why when you're faced with this decision of what to keep working on and what to discontinue working on, it feels very scary. And it makes you question if you're in alignment or not. But you are in alignment here, as far as I can see. And especially if this is like, relationship based, if you're questioning working on a relationship with a person or not, I mean, it's a yes, because y'all are a match. And y'all already have established a foundation here. But yeah, if you want it, you can have it, is what I'm hearing. You just choose to keep working on that. And it will work out as you work on it. And there's so many different ways I could say this, because I'm also hearing it in the sense of like, because it's so general, right? Because what you choose to work on is what will last. So the fear comes in where if you choose this person and, it's going to go long term with them, blah, 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 because you choose to work on it, because you choose to put effort into it. And then you end up years down the line and realize that it's not for you, or you realize like you've changed or they've changed or like something like this, and it just doesn't feel like anything you want to continue at that point moving forward. That's what's got you worried, is because like, you've been thinking, there's a song, the Frank Ocean song, because I've been thinking about forever. Like, you've been thinking about something like forever. Like, you want some forever stuff. Like, you're in some kind of forever energy right now. No matter like your age or like what's going on in your life, for some reason your brain is thinking a lot lately, because of these astrological aspects happening right now, about like what's gonna last forever. But again, you of all signs, you of all people should know that things just do not, like, not in a negative sense really, but like things don't last forever. Things do continually change. You continually change. Everyone continually changes. Forever, your forever that you can hold on to, the only thing that does last forever is change. Because it's always constantly, consistently occurring. So, what do you work on? Before I even look at these cards that are in my hand, what do you work on? Whatever it is that you want right now. Whatever it is that you want to grow. Because I do feel like you want to continue with something that will last. But like at the end of the day, it's going to change at some point, some way, somehow, anywho. And then you'll be faced again with the choice to decide whether you want to continue to work on whatever that is or not. You know what I mean? You start a business. You start drop shipping some coffee cups because you've been wanting to do it. You make that choice, you go ahead and you work on it, you do it. You don't know how far it's going to go. But if you need to change at some point in time, then you're going to. And this is literally how you've operated your whole life. So it's interesting why you're questioning yourself now, of all times. I mean, again, it makes sense with certain astrological aspects, but it's just interesting that you would have so much pressure on yourself about what the right thing to do is, and forgetting that you're the Temperance card, that you always make things flow. You always mix things up. You always have a little bit of both going on. One foot in the water, one foot out, in a way. You always are open to, whatever's going to come your way. You're always, maybe not always patient as a fire sign, but more patient of the fire signs. You know what I mean? Because you're more trusting in the sense of trusting the divine in your learning and in your guidance through your life. So it's just interesting that all you have to do is what you've always done, which is choose what you want, despite what anyone else around you is telling you, I don't know if you should do that or not, But every time you've done that, you've learned, even if it hasn't gone how you planned, most times it hasn't gone how you planned, you've learned something so massive from it that helps you forward and helps others forward. And it's admirable because you take the risk anyway. And everyone loves that energy about you, that you just do a thing. It can be a little extra spontaneous at times, but even still, you always land on your feet, and you always seem to, just pick up and move to the next thing if something doesn't work out, or you get what you need out of whatever it is that you chose. And if it doesn't last forever, then you just go on to something else, because you're always guided to something else, because you are always choosing. You always make choices, and therefore you're always consistently choosing what's the best thing to work on for at this time. But lately you've been feeling stuck because you feel like there's this big choice or this big one thing that when you choose it, you won't have to, you won't have to choose ever again. And for some reason you're putting that pressure on yourself, but that's not what your life has ever been, and that's not what your life is here to do or be. And also, there may be things that you do choose in your life that will be long lasting forever. Certain hobbies that you start, certain businesses you start, certain relationships that you start, certain things like that. There will be things, but at the same time, in order for those things to proceed for the long haul, for lifelong, for your lifetime, in its in its completion, it calls for work. So that's, again, wrapped around one in itself. A concept wrapped around one in itself is that, again, whatever you work on is what will last. What your fear is what if you start working on, quote unquote, the wrong thing. And I feel like maybe for once in your life, no one's really telling you that you should or shouldn't do something. I feel like that used to fuel you a lot, or has fueled you a lot, when people go, I don't know, nah. It fuels that fire in you where you're like, no, because that validates and reconfirms your intuition to yourself when people do that, because you can feel when someone's projecting, because you're really keen on the senses and the emotions and the feelings and the point of views of others when they're sharing and where those energies are coming from. And it's like, since no one is really like questioning you right now, or no one is like telling you not to do something right now or something like this, you don't know what to do, because it's literally just between you and yourself. Like if you had like 5, 6, 7, 25, 35 people coming to you being like, why are they doing that? Why is Sagittarius doing that? Why is Sagittarius thinking about choosing that? Why da 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 da? It would make you, as a human, question yourself a little. But then it strikes you strongly whether or not that's something you really want to do, because you're hearing other people's point of views, and it either is triggering you in a way that goes, dang, maybe I do need to think about this more, or it triggers you in a way where it goes, these people just do not get what I see. And it makes you there's more gas in your tank from that, and you just go for it even harder, because you're like, I feel like this is even more confirmation that I'm on the right path, because everybody keeps trying to spook me away. But like, I feel this in my heart, in my soul. It's like no one is around you really doing that with the situation, whether it's a love situation here, I'm starting to see more clearly now, or just some other sort of choice. So you're like, it's so quiet, how do I choose? But at the same time, is it quiet? Because I would imagine, from what I'm seeing, and maybe I'll see more in these cards here, that you've actually been quite intellectually or at least emotionally / mentally conflicted. So a lot of voices in your own mind have been kind of scaring you into like doing this choice or not. But that's the kicker, is like, you usually trust yourself so much. And so the fact that these questions and concerns are coming from yourself, you can't seem to differentiate between what of those voices that I'm hearing that are from myself, what ones are my intuition and just trying to, stop me from doing something that I'm not meant to do, and what voices of those are just fear that may as well just be someone on the outside telling me like, oh, you'll never make it, oh, you'll never da 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 da. Like, what ones do I listen to and what ones don't I? Oh, that's the kicker. What a trap, man. The moon in reverse. Yeah, I feel like a lot of Sagittarius Collective does not feel like they, does not feel like they got some big revelation from these eclipse energies. And like, you may have really been looking forward to it if you had awareness of the lunar and solar eclipses that were coming up, that have now, passed, but we're still lingering in their energy. I feel like you were looking forward to some kind of like revelation or some sort of like really big shift in either energy or some sort of event or some sort of something, especially if this romantic connection is resonating with you. It's like you were really hoping that something out of your connection was going to just like do a whole like beautiful 180, or a 180 that maybe wasn't like the desired outcome, but at least it was an outcome that you could, just deal with the change of it and move forward from. It's like everything just kind of stayed where it was, is what it feels like, Five of Pentacles in reverse, yeah. And so you, because of that, it's like now everything just, it's not actually this way, because this card is in reverse, but it feels like you're creating this illusion of like it's an illusory struggle, like not downplaying what you're going through, because you are going through it, definitely mentally for sure, maybe even, you know, and emotionally in there as well, but it's not really what it is. It's not really what's happening here. You're not really struggling, but you are in your head. Judgment. Again, you're waiting for God to talk to you, to speak to you, to call out to you, so that it all makes sense, so that you feel more free. Because you feel very, maybe some of you even feel forsaken and just extremely uncomfortable with the eclipse energies that we're still lingering in general. Whether you had consciousness of the eclipse is happening or not, but whatever they've done, whatever those energies have done to you, it's been feeling like, I don't know, it's this interesting energy of like feeling like you have to wait, or you have to be slow, or you have to hold back, or you have to, you know, see yourself in a more lack mentality because you're not trying to jump the gun on this, like whether it's a relationship, a career, choice, whatever the choice is, you know, just your own spiritual growth. It's like you have to call this something less than what it is because God hasn't told you what it is yet. That's why you're doing it. That's interesting. Six of Swords and the Empress. So many major arcana out here. Page of Wands in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Pentacles in reverse. And the Devil in reverse. So because God hasn't said it straight to your face, like you feel like he normally does, you are just like sitting. I feel like you're the one sitting in this boat. I don't feel like you're the one rowing it. You're just like sitting in this boat being like, where are we going? How long is this gonna take? And that's not making fun of, you know, the situation, how like grueling it feels at this time, but like quite honestly, like, see two images here of people, you know, wrapped in cloth, kind of just like clearly not feeling well, and it's just kind of like, where are we going? But the energy I'm getting from it is like that it's not like you're being a baby. But with this, all this Aries energy happening, not only with Mercury retrograde in Aries, but all these other Aries aspects happening right now astrologically, there is a ripe potential to act out and to think things are a lot more, not think things are worse than they are. That is what I'm trying to say, but it's no disrespect to Aries energy. I love Aries energy. But you know, Aries out of alignment can tend to, well, first of all, Aries in general, they feel things very passionately and strongly. It may not last as long as this feeling has been feeling like it's been lasting, but like they'll feel things very deeply, very strongly, and very intensely. You know, sadnesses, disappointments, excitements, you know, all sides, all the different moods. When things happen, they can feel them very quickly, very passionately, very strongly. So if there's any disappointment, it's just like complete disappointment for however long until they're done feeling it through. If it's fear, it's complete fear until they're done feeling it through. Like, you know, it's just like so intense. Out of alignment, that's where Aries energy, out of like someone out of alignment with a lot of strong Aries placements, and just during Aries season, I suppose anyone out of alignment during Aries season in this Aries energy, there's a potential to feel things more than, like, it's like punishing yourself. It's like the type of kid that puts themselves in timeout when they didn't do anything wrong kind of vibe. Like, it's like you're holding so much back, and you're feeling so in the cold, and you're feeling so like, I don't know where we're going, God. And again, I'm not teasing you. I'm just saying that that's the energy I'm picking up on. But what you don't see is that it's really kind of like, you don't realize it is, but it's kind of, I'm not saying that your emotions are fake right now, but it's some sort, I mean, again, with the symbolism with these cloaks, it's some sort of cloak. It's some sort of, like, I don't want to say act, but that's like the word that I'm hearing. You know, I'm not going to hold back what I'm hearing. I don't like to share things that don't sound optimistic. Sagittarius, especially to my Sagittariuses, but to anyone, but I know Sagittarius is, you know, we love our optimism, but there's something here where it's like, quit playing. Like, quit playing, because you know who the F you are. This is Libra energy. You could have some strong Libra energy. You could also have strong, there's Cancer energy here, Taurus energy here, Virgo energy for me as a reader, Scorpio energy here, more Libra energy, more Cancer energy, definite Virgo energy there, Capricorn energy, and Leo energy, Sagittarius for me as a reader, of course, and then some definite Sagittarius over there with the Temperance. You know who you are. You know what you're capable of. You know what you manifest, they're saying, what you seek to gather, you always find. What you seek to gather, you always find. But you're not taking any action because you're wanting God to drop something in your hand and it's not happening. And so you feel like, I'm paying karmic debt right now. I must have done something wrong. And that's why I'm not getting what I feel like I've been putting out into the world. Whether it's to do with this relationship, work, money, just life, whatever. And so you're starting to really, really question if you've been making bad choices and are just getting fed a bunch of repercussions for in regards to like karmic, like getting your karmic debt paid, like paying off bad karma. But no, it's like you just need to, I'll get some advice, but like you just you're making it hard for me. Like, even if like God always has something in store, but whatever you think God has in store or could have in store, you're not even making room for him to bring it in, because you got this cloak on you, and you're just like, okay, whenever you say it's time, God, whenever you're ready, blah, blah, blah. But it's that pancake symbolism again. It's not just having this pancake, you know, smother you to death, this giant pancake, and being like, okay, God, if I die, I die, and whenever you're ready, you know, get your God spatula out and flip this pancake off of me. No, it's actually, something on my tongue. It's actually God watching you, waiting for you to see what you'll do with a giant freaking pancake over your body. It's something new. It's something new. That's why you're only dealing with you versus you right now. It's not naysayers getting you confused. That helps you realign with yourself, remembering like, I don't care what they say. I know that I'm aligned with God. I know that I'm co-creating with God. I know that the choice that I'm making is for my highest good, no matter how long it lasts, because it doesn't matter, because I know I'm going to learn something regardless. There's no one against you in your face right now. For most of you, there's just not. That's what I'm getting. It's you versus you. And it's you versus you because God's sitting there watching you, wondering what you're going to do with that giant pancake that just fell on top of your life. The pancake is, you want to know what the lesson is, the aha moment or whatever? The aha moment is realizing that the pancake is the lesson. What are you going to do with it? Trust yourself to know what to do with it. You know? Some of y'all are going to want to try to punch your way through it. Some of y'all are going to want to take a little bite at a time and slowly make and eat a little hole so that you can kind of crawl through it. Some of you are going to want to just like see how much you can gorge at one time and get your way through it. Like, everybody's going to have a different pace and a different idea as to how to get through this pancake that's suffocating you. But I just feel so strongly that it's not about, and even if God does come in with his spatula, this is such a weird symbolism, but even if and when God comes in with his spatula, like, you're not doing any damage by giving things a try. I feel like you're afraid to give things a try right now because you feel like you just have to lay there and be smothered by the pancake until it's God's time. And it's always God's timing, yes, but you still have free will. Even if God is going to come in with that spatula and make it so much easier for you and flip that thing right off you, you can choose to wait and still feel the pressure and still feel suffering and still feel confused and bored and like, why am I under this pancake? I don't understand. And how long is it going to take for God to show up? You could. I don't even see any problem with that either. But it's literally choosing what you want to do. Like, for once in a long time, or here we go again, you're faced with another for once in a long time. Maybe you have had a similar experience to like facing this sort of choice that's you versus you, you know, in recent past or not too far of past. But here you are again. You have to make a choice that only you can make. That's based on what you want. So do you want to lay under the pancake until God comes through? You can. Do you want to just still take some kind of proactive action, even if it's just little bites of this pancake, to see if maybe you can slowly kind of create some sort of hole or something, or at least like not be hungry while you're laying there, you know? Or do you want to like beat the crap out of this pancake thing because you got anger to express and you realize that kind of feels good to do that? Imagine punching a giant pancake. That would feel really good, to be honest. I would love to do that. And also potentially make a hole by doing that, you know, to get out. Or do you want to just like gorge and just be like, I'm tired of being under this pancake, I'm gonna get out? Because you never know when God's gonna come in with his spatula. I'm not saying that he never will, because I do feel like, you know, the more that we talk about it here, it's like part of it is just like there's a time and a place for the pancake to be removed by God fully and completely, but also there's time and place right now for you to do whatever you want to do. And I don't think any of the choices that you could make symbolically, as we've been saying, can do you any wrong. Because the only thing that I see, if you choose like punching this pancake, trying to punch a hole through it, the only thing you can do there is exhaust yourself. And that puts you to surrender. And surrender is what aligns you with a frequency of receiving what God's been waiting to bring into your life. If you choose to like just nibble at a time, the only thing, you know, the only consequence I see there symbolically is like, you know, you just maybe you get I don't know, maybe you just feel repetitive. Feel like you're just doing the same thing every day, eating the same thing every day, doing the same thing every day. You eat pancake for breakfast, you eat pancake for lunch, you eat pancake for dinner, pancake for breakfast, and you just keep doing it. And you know, you might just feel repetitive. Choose to gorge, take huge chunks and just like freaking try to like pancake eating contest type vibe, just like smudge that stuff down. You do risk choking, 1. You do risk bloat, 2. And again, that leads to surrender as well, because eventually you're just going to be like, never mind. But on the flip side of that one, you could possibly eat your way through into a hole where you could just like pop out and escape. So that's kind of like a scarier choice in this symbolism, but that one could prove successful. Same thing as the punching one. You could punch a hole through. The ones that are high risk are high reward. Period. And the ones that are low risk are also low reward. So I think God is really calling you to pick not high risk on purpose, but pick whichever one feels best for you to do, whatever feels best for you to do, whatever you want to do. And if it's high risk, know that there is high reward, because there always has been, there always will be for you. That's how it's always been. So this flew out while I was shuffling. Yeah. Again, just confirming, like, what do I choose? Which one is got something good for me in it, and which one's just gonna blow up in my face? But I don't know, there's something about this high risk, high reward energy. And if you choose to do nothing and just lay there under the pancake and wait for God, then that's fine too. But you may feel bored and you may feel a bit suffocated for who knows how much longer until God comes in with the spatula. That's going to require a lot of conscious surrender. So it depends on what you are prepared to do and what you feel you'd like to do. It's like a mixture of action and surrender here. It's like, do you take a high risk action to see that high reward potentially? And the only thing that could really go wrong is that it kind of, you know, if the reward is not high and it just ends up you choke on the pancake or you get exhausted from punching the pancake, you just end up surrendering anyway. Because you're just like, all right, I tried. I'll wait. That's the worst thing that could happen. The best thing that could happen is that you create a new timeline that is like so wildly divinely timed, but based on your free will of jumping some sort of timeline, creating a new timeline for yourself. Or you just go into complete surrender mode and just take things one bite at a time, slowly, or just not at all, and you try to seek surrender in those ways. Either way, surrender is needed. Oh my gosh, this is so wild. Let's see. All right, angels, thank you so much. Show us some advice for the Sagittarius Collective at this time, please. Show us some advice. Advice for the Sagittarius Collective at this time, please, angels. I feel like the Seven of Cups is going to be included in this advice. Bottom, yes or no? There you are again. So, Temperance at the bottom. Advice with Temperance on the bottom there. Be you. Express yourself. Be you. Tap into you. You don't have to wait for God because God is in you. So tap into you. This is not one of those things where like you're just kind of like snoozing and then like you wake up and you're like, whoa, a super cool text from that person I like. Or whoa, my spouse wants to go do this. That's so surprising. I love that. Or whoa, I got an opportunity or an offer or whatever. Or whoa, a whole bunch of money just dropped into my account from some person who supports me. Whatever. Like it's not one of those things. It's not one of those. It's one of these things where God's putting you in control to see what you'll do. I've never pulled a reading like this. God's putting you in control to see what you'll do. And he's not forsaking you, and he's not gonna not swoop in. He'll swoop in when it's time. But he's putting you in control to see what you'll do, because it's time for you to trust yourself. Trust yourself. We'll change the lyrics. I'll do it, you know? Seven of Cups, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, King of Swords in reverse, Three of Wands. This is your advice. Literally what was just said. Plus, like the wheel just is not moving forward right now until you freaking choose, period. The wheel is not moving until you choose. The wheel's not moving till you choose. And this is giving me like divine truth energy. Like I'm feeling like justice card vibes from this card, even though it's the King of Swords. But it's giving me like, and God isn't gonna like show up with some like divine truth that you've been praying and asking for to help relieve some of this agony, until you look around and say and talk to him and tell him what your choice is. and tell the world and tell yourself and go for it. This is traveling. This is expanding. This is Jupiter energy. This is Sagittarius energy. The choice is you have to choose. Missing piece here is you have to choose. Get some oracle cards. Wow, Sagittarius. Wow, wow, wow. The advice is you have to choose. And this is what creates more faith and more surrender in all the things you've been praying for. God, I pray for more strength. God, I pray for more patience. God, I pray for more surrender. God, I pray for more trusting in myself. God, I pray for more love in myself, more forgiveness of myself. This is getting what you prayed for. You're in the lesson right now. And this is the test. I don't like using that word, but this is the test of it in the symbolic, thing if we're thinking of like a school lesson. Because you're going to get what you prayed for, all that trust, all that faith, all that patience, all that self-love, self-forgiveness, yada, 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 continue on, da, 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 da. You're going to get all that. But you got to apply what you've been learning, and you don't think you're ready for it, but you freaking are. Temperance and the Empress out here. You're born ready. And when it comes to connections, you're a match with this person, King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Or if it's just your energy, you're aligned with your divine feminine and divine masculine self. You got it. You just think you don't because you're waiting on God to show you. But God is waiting on you to talk to you and then go to him. God wants you to talk to you, your highest self, and then go to him. And when I say God, I mean the divine, however you feel comfortable. God wants you to talk to you and then go to him and tell him what the frick you chose. Like, not if I can have anything I want, since I can have anything I want, what do I freaking want? And take it serious this time. I think that you haven't done this in a very long time, maybe ever. Taxes here. Okay, so some of you, again, maybe are putting things off until you get your tax return, things like that. But also, this is just a card about things being taxing, things weighing on you, things feeling like this. You need to tap in with yourself. You need to talk to yourself. Your guides want you to know how much they love you, okay? They're not forsaking you. Look at this. I'm not lying to you. A couple minutes ago, I got slightly distracted because I saw a text come through. My friend just texted me and asked me if I wanted to go to the beach. But, if anywhere that makes you feel in a meditative state, like the beach would make one feel symbolically, like this is a meditative card. This is a go somewhere where you can listen to you. Talk to you, which is talking to God at the same time in a way, right? And then you can tell God what you want to choose, what you want to do. And then you can be firm on what is a yes, right? Because there's so many. One, if you're thinking of a question and you're like, is this relating to this? The yes card does show that yes, whatever you were just thinking of, yes, it is in relation to that. But, or if you asked a question, the answer is yes, whatever. That does happen in my readings here. But this is also, if you are hearing so many things, like it's not people outside of you, it's things in your mind where you're just like, well, what voices do I listen to? What voices don't I? Blah, 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 blah. Get somewhere where you can feel relaxed, free, open, connected to Source, God, the divine, Gaia, Mother Earth, however you like to say all of this. And with yourself, nice time with you. Like how Jesus goes up on that mountain to talk to God. Every once in a while you need to find a mountain to go on, in a sense, and just be with you, and just be with God, and just be with you, and listen to you and what you want, and tell God what that is, and God will and just have a conversation in that way. But anyway, point is that you'll start to hear more and more things when you're with yourself in that meditative state. Even if it's not in a place, it's just like you choose to meditate in your room, like actually like close your eyes type of like chill, meditate kind of thing. Or maybe a meditation for you is writing things down. Maybe meditation for you is singing things out. Maybe meditation for you is calling, I don't know, calling someone that just listens, you know, maybe your therapist or whatever. Like, they don't have like opinions, they just listen, you know. But whatever it is, then you'll start to see what things are very hard yeses for you versus what things are like, nah, I'm not really into that. Because some of the things that you think that you're toying with, there's a part of you that knows you don't want anything to do with that. But you're questioning it because you're just toying with a lot in your mind right now. All the clear yeses are going to come through once you get into a more meditative state. It's a now card. Start now. You do not have to wait. I don't want to wait. You don't want to wait? You don't have to. Yeah, it's Mercury retrograde, sure, whatever. But you're literally being called by God right now to go ahead. Go ahead and start this process of making your choice, because the choice is yours. I also saw it upside down when I was looking at it before I showed it to you. Something about a Monday. You know what I mean? Maybe something happened. I'm recording this on a Tuesday. Maybe something Tuesday the 16th of April. Maybe something happened the 15th Monday. Maybe something happened yesterday in your world. Or maybe you started this and now you're resonating with it today because you kind of like, you know, that's what brought you here or something. Or something about a Monday in the future. Or something about the moon, because that's the moon's day. Something about like maybe your moon sign, or like whenever I post the rest of the readings for the signs, maybe you want to check out what your moon signs messages are. Something about some sort of Monday or something, or maybe like, you know, I'll just give it a week, right? That's a lot of advice that I hear for a lot of people is like, give it 3 days, give it a week, give it 24 hours, maybe give it a week and see how you feel on Monday. You know what I mean? Like, decide, make a choice. Like, you could just like, I'm not going to choose until next week. I'm going to just meditate for a week straight and then see how I feel and see if something comes to me within 7 days, blah, 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 blah. Or maybe like you do just go ahead and choose because you're just like, you know what? I think I want to choose this. I'm just going to go for it. High risk, high reward. And then if I'm still not feeling it in a week, then I'll throw that choice out the window and try a different thing. You know what I mean? Like, just however it makes sense for you. Like, these are several things that I'm hearing. Everything goes, right? Because you want something that's forever. You're like in this very forever energy. And everyone wants something forever. No one wants to get something that they love so much, especially if it's this relationship or this job or this certain alignment or whatever you got going on here, a mixture of all of them. No one wants to receive something good and then imagine that it's going to go away one day. No one wants to imagine that. But at the end of the day, things are always going to change and come and go and elevate, or, you know, whatever. There's always going to be some sort of change. So you've got to understand that whatever you choose is to be chosen for your highest good and the highest quality of life for you right now. You know? And that thinking so far about, is it going to last me my entire life, is not important right now. It's not important right now. What's important is to make some sort of move, make some sort of gesture. Make a gesture. Get on the road with it. Okay? Get on the road with it. I don't think this is a buy a car card, first of all. But if you have been manifesting a car, you know, continue to make choices that are gonna, you know, be ones that get you there. But this is like, just get in the car and go with it, symbolically, okay? Let's get a fun card from this giant old maid deck, because I feel like we need a little bit of lightness. I feel like we ought to lighten up a little bit, because we were talking about that in the beginning of the reading. And now we've gotten real deep and real with it. Keep this or put it back. So let's get some fun ones from here. We got Dictator. For you, I'm seeing this card as like, you're in charge of your life. Like, God's there to help co-create with you, but you have free will. You're in charge. Look at all them freaking taters. Look how happy he is. Because here's the thing. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. He planted this potato plant. And look what God did for it. He put the work in. He put the work in to something that he wanted to see grow. Are you listening? He put the work in to something he wanted to see grow, which was a potato, at least one, because he wanted to grow that. So he put the work in, he did it, and look how God blessed him. A gajillion potatoes. So you want to start a business, you want to start a connection with in regards to your love life, like things like this, put the work in to what you want and watch how God multiplies it times a gajillion. Look how stinking happy he is. Yeah, he's kind of rough and dirty and whatnot because of all that work he had to put through, but he chose what plant he wanted to plant. He put the work in to plant that plant, and he just kept maintaining it, knowing that at some point something's got to grow. Hopefully, he probably just hoped for the best. Hopefully, one potato grows. Who knows? Hopefully, and then he goes to harvest, and it's a gajillion potatoes that only God could do. So that's how you co-create. That's how you co-create. You don't just wait for God to give you a whole bunch of potatoes. You gotta go get the seeds, and you gotta till the ground, and you got to put it in the ground, and you got to water it, maintain it, take care of it. You got to have patience for it. You got to watch it grow. You got to pay attention if there's any changes needed for it. You got to still want it, still believe it. And if you do want it, and if you still, want to take care of it and want to put work into it and still want to see it grow, you will want to keep putting that work in to take care of it. And then when it's time, you will reap a gajillion more than what you sowed. Thank you, angels. Anything else from this deck, just for funsies? I love this fun little deck. Whoa. Good or more? Okay. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, and then we'll close out. Bottom? No. All right. Susie, take a break so you can figure this out. Not a I need to figure this out. Look how happy she is. Find a place that makes you feel so comfy and lovey, and maybe spend time with, if you have any animals in your life, spend time with animals, or just, spend some time outdoors perhaps as well. It's a nice freeing energy, cleanses you, okay, connects you with yourself and with Gaia and the frequencies here on this blessed earth. Get some rest, and also pay attention to your dreams, okay? But also, get some rest so that, so that God can kind of your guides and whoever can whisper things to you, because you'll be in full surrender. When you are asleep, when you are completely asleep, you're in the fullest surrender. But this can be a meditative state as well. That's, another form of that's another form of full surrender, is being in a meditative state, which is essentially not really being asleep, but, you're putting your consciousness to rest so that your subconscious can speak to you, okay? Shirley can't cook, all right? Yeah, you can't do this on your own. You're driving yourself up a wall, but at the same time, it is going to feel a little chaotic with balancing what needs to be done in order to, you are going to be scared to make this choice. When the choice comes to you, you are going to be scared to make the choice. You're gonna be afraid. You're gonna be afraid to take that risk, take that leap, to hop over this barbed wire here, okay? All right, it is gonna feel a little, whatever, in the sense of okay, if you say, I heard it in my subconscious, and I told God that when I know, then I'll know, and even if it's scary, I'm gonna do it anyway. Even if it's hard, I'm gonna do it anyway. Even if I have to really multitask, and I get a little tired and whatever, and I get a little wrapped up in whatever, or I get a little, I don't know, a little boo-boo along the way, I'm still gonna just choose it, because something's gonna come out of it with Nancy, all right? Eventually, when you make a choice, then you'll see, then you'll know, then you will awaken, okay, out of this drunken fear, right? For me, this is drunken fear, because it's not real fear, it's the illusion of fear. You start to realize, oh, this really isn't that scary. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny, if anything. And you'll know if it's what you want or not, if it feels good or not, if it tastes good or not, okay? And then God will give you more of it, or you will find more opportunities that lead you to more sweetness from taking this risk here. And then you get to indulge Empress energy here. Then you get to indulge because you have everything and more. You have everything and more. With that 3, another Empress energy symbolism here, but with mark time, you know what I mean? You'll realize that, wow, I've never seen this one come out. I'm still new to using this deck as an oracle deck. But yeah, you'll realize all you gotta do, at this, when you get to this point, you know, you'll be so indulgent and taking your time with it that, yeah, this is so wild. That, yeah, sometimes it's kind of embarrassing. It's kind of becomes embarrassing in a way to think about how long you kept yourself blinded and kept in some sort of like trance of you not being capable. You know what I mean? And like everything that you had been reaching for before, you know, that was tearing you up inside, you realize like you were under some sort of like spell. Like, look at his eyes. Like, you were under some sort of spell, some sort of routine that was just continuously, you know, continuously bringing you back to like this feeling, but not for what you actually were wanting. You won't see what it is that you want until you take a break, go for it, let it hurt if it needs to. Then you'll know what hurts and what doesn't. Then you'll get out of this fearful, drunken little state, and you'll be like, oh, it's not that scary. I know what I want. Then you can place your order, and William will give you those certain particular flavored lollipops that you ordered. You'll finally know what you want. Yes, I want those ones. And then you just freaking indulge in it, because you're like, all right, let's do this. And let it take its time. I'm also seeing this now as like, and if things do get rocky again, if things do get a little messy or get a little embarrassing or get a little scary or get a little unexpected things again from making that choice, then, you know, this card is so wicked. I don't even know where I want to go with this card, to be honest. I kind of want to clarify it. This card is wicked. What is this? Can you clarify this, television, please? That card is so wicked. If things do get a little wild again, there it is, yeah. If things do get, there's two of these cards here. If things do get a little wild again, a little embarrassing again, a little like oopsie doopsies again, then, you know, handle it however you need to handle it. Even if you just need to, you know, numb your brain with some actual television or whatever it is, but come back, okay? Come back. Don't let it take over you. Don't let it, like, you know, see how he's taken over by this show. Don't let the disappointments take over you. Come back. Come back to what you learned. When you get here, once you know what you want, let it take its time. Take your time on it. Look how careful he is with that paintbrush. Look how careful and risky he is, hanging himself by his overalls on this thing, suspended in the air. He's taking a lot of risk doing this, but he's also being very focused and very careful. And again, this is all about time as well, okay? Letting time do its thing. If embarrassments or, you know, unexpected things happen while you're reaching for your goals here, that are a little undesirable, unexpected things, if you start to handle it in a toxic way, just again, or you start to get fearful, or you start to want to zone out, or you start to want to like let this kind of embarrassment take over and be like, oh no, I fucked up, blah, da, da, da. Just come back to what you know. Come back to what you learned. Come back to what you learned. That everything comes and goes. Everything. I hope that was helpful for y'all, Sagittarius, because to be quite honest with y'all, it's been difficult for me to feel really satisfied in the readings I've been doing because of the energy that I've been feeling from all these astrological aspects and certain things going on in my world, in my life. I'll just, you know, keep it real with you, keep it 100. And I just, for a lot of readings I've been doing, I just feel like enough is, like, I just feel unsatisfied with closing out. Like, I just feel like there's, again, like, I feel like how this reading feels like, where it's just like, where is the end game? Where is the whatever? So I hope this was helpful with y'all. Perhaps that's because I'm, you know, Sagittarius myself, so I am experiencing a bit of what's been shown here. Thank you, angels, so much for these beautiful messages. But I do wish you all super, super, super well. I hope this was helpful. I hope it resonated in some way, shape, or form. I'm sorry that it still feels like a cliffhanger in some way, but I hope there was some insight there to be gained. I'm doing my best out here. I know you're doing your best out there. Again, I'm lexrayangelica. If you have any interest in any private readings or anything with me, you can check the description. It will take you to my Etsy shop. That is where I sell video recorded readings like this one, okay? Phone call readings and things like that will come later in the future. But as it stands, I have multiple different types of video recorded readings offered on my Etsy shop. And there's everything in the description of each listing is there if you have any questions of how things go, or what to expect, and whatnot. It's all extremely detailed. I typed it all out so that there will be little to no questions. But if you have any questions, you can always message me on Etsy. You can email lexrayangelica@gmail.com. You can DM me on Instagram or TikTok, both lexrayangelica. But just know that might go to my message requests, and I don't always check my message requests super frequently. So email is better. Etsy messaging is better for me personally. And then there's also information in the description on how to send tips. If you resonated with this reading and you want to send a tip through Venmo, Cashapp, PayPal, that is always greatly appreciated, but of course not expected of you. I just hope that this helped, honestly, because I've just been feeling like, am I freaking helping? I can't even tell if I'm helping, because I feel like everything's so hard to make clear. People want so much clarity right now during this season, and I'm like, I got you the best that I can, but I'm just like, am I even freaking helping? I'm trying. At least I'm trying. That's all I can say. At least I'm trying. So, love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, angels. Thank you all who love and watch over us all from the light. Thank you, my ascended master, Jesus Christ. Thank you, God. Thank you to the entire universe. Thank you, angels. God bless y'all. And I guess I'm going to go to the beach and listen to myself. I guess that's what I'm doing today. I suppose so. All right, love y'all.